Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Learning Up. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is PLSQL and how to define the variables present in it and what are the data types present in it with an example. But before going through that, if you're new to our community, then please do subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss an update from me. Okay? And now, without further ado, let's get started. So guys, now let's talk about the first topic, which is PLSQL. So we know about SQL, right? So but we don't know about PLSQL. So PLSQL is not just a single word, but it's a combination of two words. One is PL, the other one is SQL. Guys, now let's talk about the SQL. SQL means structured query language. So this is mainly used to retrieve the content or manipulate the relational databases. Though there are advantages of SQL statements, but there are also the biggest disadvantages on the background. So the first disadvantage is no loops are present in SQL. Okay, so as there are no loops, we cannot run the same statement multiple times. We need to write the same statement multiple times. Then only we can execute each statement one by one, or we can execute the group of statements. But whenever we are using loops, then we can execute the same statement multiple times. So there SQL fails because no loops. And the second disadvantage is no exceptions. As SQL is just a query language and not a programming language, so there are no exceptions present in SQL. And the biggest disadvantage is cannot define the business rules, guys, because every business need to define some business rules. And in SQL, as there are no conditional flow statements, we cannot define any business rules. This is the biggest disadvantage of this SQL statements. And not only that, there is also another disadvantage, which is no storage. See guys, when we use a select query to retrieve the content from one database, and we cannot store it, as there is no storage, we cannot store this content that was obtained in the previous SQL statement. So now these are the disadvantages. Now explore the advantages of this PL. So firstly, let's talk about what is PL. PL is nothing but a procedural language. So what is mean by this procedural language? See guys, procedural language, it's a type of programming paradigm. Well, according to the programming language, there are multiple paradigms present in IT industry. One of them most implemented version is object oriented one. Examples like Java, Python, C++, these are all object oriented programming languages. But when it comes to procedural language, PLSQL is a procedural language. We cannot map the program to be the real world entity. Okay, so this is where procedural language comes in. PLSQL was created by Oracle company. Now let's explore the advantages of PLSQL, guys. The first advantage is loops. If our business requirement needs to be executed multiple times, then there is a concept called loops in PLSQL. We can run multiple statements multiple times, and there are also exceptions. And not only these, we can also define the business rules, guys. This is the biggest advantage of PLSQL, because our business needs to be running on multiple rules. And as there are conditional flow statements that are present in this PLSQL, so we can define our business rules efficiently. And the fourth advantage is we can store the results obtained from SQL statements in collections, variables, etc. There are some collections present in PLSQL. So we can store the result that was obtained from one SQL statement into these collections, and we can also use the same result and can manipulate the result according to our business needs using another SQL statement. This is where the biggest advantage of PLSQL. It can also define the business rules and can also store the data that was obtained by using SQL statements in this PL SQL. These are the disadvantages and advantages of a PL SQL, guys, and also SQL. So now let's explore the different, and now let's explore the blocks that are present in PL SQL. Okay, so now let's talk about the block. The block is just a container. In PLSQL, a block is where a small container or a container that actually gathers three types of blocks. Okay, so the first one is a declare block. This is where we actually store the data or we declare everything. It actually contains variables, constants, and also the data types. So this is an optional block. Even though you don't have any variable constants or collections, you don't need to write this block. You can directly jump to the next block, which is begin. And this is very important block. If you wanted to actually declare or write the source code, you need to mention this. Without this block shows an syntax error. So we definitely need to write this begin. So this is where we write all the loops, conditional flow statements, and other types of SQL statements, all those things. And the next block is exception block. So in this block, actually program has to be running. It should not crash in the middle of the execution. So that's why we actually use this exceptions block. So this is also an optional block. We know about the exceptions, right? In the Python series we have talked about exceptions. So these exceptions actually catch the errors that are occurred in begin block, and these exceptions can handle those errors efficiently and will prevent the crashing of our source code. Okay, so this is how exceptions actually help us run our programs. So this is also an optional block, and after this we just need to write the end statement and finally a backward slash. So this is actually the syntax of PLSQL code. The declare block is optional and exceptions is also the same. And a begin is where we actually write the actual code, source code, execute SQL statements, we write the conditions, loops, and so on like that. So these are the PLSQL code. That's it for today's session, guys. I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new today. If you did, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so you'll never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. Happy coding.